65 stars. Adam Driver is an astronaut who crash lands on a distant planet. He realizes there are no survivors and must try to pinpoint just exactly where he is. While he's doing that, he realizes there's one escape pod in a swamp with one survivor. So he goes and retrieves the pod and realizes a little girl, her name's Koa. And she speaks a strange language that he doesn't understand, communicates to her that we must get off of this land because there are strange things going on and something catastrophic is about to land. So what does 65 amount to? The answer is amounts to fuck all of shit. 65 was written and directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods, who did Haunt and also wrote A Quiet Place. A Quiet Place made the most of its spoopy, sinister atmosphere with characters you sort of cared about, an atmosphere and, creatures that you actually could buy as, holy shit, these things are scary, and atmosphere, and also, things happened in A Quiet Place eventually. You know what happens in 65? A bunch of stuff that you could see coming from a mile away, perhaps even 65 million miles away. Where Adam Driver plays Mills, an astronaut who crash lands on a distant planet, as I just said in the intro, and there were a bunch of people in cryosleep, and yeah, they're all screwed because he is the only person there except for this little girl named Koa, played by Ariana Greenblatt, who I swear I've seen before, but I can't quite place. And these two must band together, basically, and try to get off this planet, get to an escape pod that somehow is on this mountain about 15 kilometers away before majorly catastrophic shit happens on this distant, unknown planet with weird creatures and weird stuff going on and everything. And if you've seen the trailer, if you saw a poster, if you even can figure out the number 65 and figure out how it would mean anything as far as an astronaut crashing and basically no human life except for one person and strange things going on this planet that doesn't seem to be inhabited by any humans. Gee, I wonder what the twist is. Yeah, if you can't figure that out, I really can't help you. This movie was advertised basically as some space agey, like creature feature thing where it's just a man and a little girl trying to fight back against these terrible, terrible dinosaurs. Look, I'm sorry. I just got to say it right there. I can't go on without, saying anything else. And yeah, they have to try and fight back against a bunch of dinosaurs and escape the planet and everything. The Planet of Dinosaurs. Oh, that's where I've seen it before. Planet of Dinosaurs, a Riff Trax made fun of. And granted, that movie came out in 77, 78 and wasn't any goddamn good, but that's where I remember this plot from. Now, granted, this movie basically just decides to minimalize the cast to the point there are literally, I think, 4 people that are on screen. 4 people. 4. Adam Driver, Ariana Greenblatt as Koa, and Chloe Coleman as Navine, Adam Driver's daughter, and Nika King as Navine's mom, or Nevine's. I don't really give a good goddamn shit how to pronounce these goddamn names, because I don't care about any of these characters. I don't care what happened. I don't care what happened to anybody in this goddamn movie. The action is shit. The action is shit that you've seen before. If you played one Turok the Dinosaur Hunter game, you got more out of it than you would have gotten out of watching this. This is 93 minutes, and good God, it drags. It reminds me of 10,000 BC, except things actually happened in 10,000 BC, and nothing happened in 10,000 BC. So that just tells you what little, minute amount of shit actually happened in this movie. This movie is terrible. This movie got a theatrical release. And apparently, all the budget went into the goddamn special effects and also to Adam Driver, because they had to probably throw at least $5 million to Adam Driver to say, please be in our movie so we can have a star, we can have something. And nothing against the other 3 people in this movie. But if they had put somebody other than Adam Driver, anybody lower than Adam Driver on the acting ladder as it is, this probably wouldn't have even gotten a theatrical release, and honestly should have gone directly to streaming, or perhaps to the goddamn wood chipper or incinerator, because this was terrible. This was fucking terrible. This was absolutely shit. I didn't care about any of the characters. I didn't care about any of the shit that happened. I know they tried to have an emotional bonding, great, but you can see everything coming a mile a goddamn way. Nothing about this movie feels organic. Nothing about this movie feels fresh. Nothing about this movie is even halfway interesting. It just ends up being something where it's like, okay, then it gets overly long. Despite the fact it's 93 minutes, this movie gets overly long, but none of the characters are ever in danger at all. Despite the fact that there are these dinosaurs, there's all these, these strange elements, and the fact that, oh yeah, the planet's kind of, fracturing and everything because of this cataclysmic event. That's basically about it. There's nothing to this movie. There's no amount of steaks you can sink your teeth into. Even if you're a vegan, you can't sink your teeth into some Beyond Meat because nothing about this has any substance to it. 65 is terrible. It is just goddamn terrible. It is so terrible. So goddamn bad. Adam Driver is so much better than this shit. Everybody in this movie is so much better than this shit. The idea isn't even original. As I just said, it's based on Planet of Dinosaurs. There you go. That's it. That's it. I don't even know why I'm going to bother doing a goddamn spoiler section because nothing about this movie needs to be spoiled. Nothing. Nothing about it. But I am going to get into spoilers here. It's in theaters. You really want to go watch it. You probably wait a few weeks and it'll be on streaming. But, oh, God. Jesus Christ. A simple idea, and yeah, you could turn your brain off. Here's the problem. You turn your brain off, you're going to still have more brain functionality than anybody that put any thought into this goddamn movie. And I'm sure that Scott Beck and Brian Woods have good ideas. Haunt, I've been meaning to watch. They wrote A Quiet Place, so they have ideas that they can make work. But here's the thing. They also were directing this while they wrote A Quiet Place, and John Krasinski directed A Quiet Place. So yeah, let's just get into fucking spoil. Adam Driver, Jesus Christ. I mean, he just was sleepwalking through this goddamn role. Everybody was sleepwalking, including anybody that was holding the camera. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. Okay, so basically, his daughter has a horrible disease. He has to take this job, a 2-year space job. They crash. The daughter dies while he's crash landing on this planet, or was in stasis, or was possibly, I don't know, lazy screenwriting. I don't really goddamn care. So his daughter dies. I've seen Chloe Coleman in something, and this is going to bother me. But, she ended up succumbing to this disease. He ends up finding Koa who lost her parents, and they eventually, there's a bunch of there's a few dinosaur attacks. They try to save one from a tar pit that gets attacked by a bunch of others. And then there's pterodactyls that get picked off at one point by these weird Komodo dragon-like, dinosaurs. I love Komodo dragons from behind glass because you don't want to get near those fuckers. They're scary. They're cool, though. And then there's T-Rex-like stuff. And then they get trapped in a cave at one point while trying to go to this mountain. And then she manages to get out of the cave. And then he has to get out of the cave eventually after being attacked by a dinosaur. Their resources are getting depleted. And then they end up getting to this escape pod. But this one T-Rex-like thing that he shot tries to come back at him while he shoots 2 other T-Rexes and destroys them while their escape pod is like this because, oh yeah, the giant cataclysmic event is a giant meteor. It's going to come down and destroy the dinosaurs. That's what the spoiler is. It's a giant meteor. It's going to destroy the dinosaurs. I wish it had landed on the studio they had made this goddamn movie because then at least we might have a studio that might actually rise up from the ashes and make something better than 65. By the way, we get 20 minutes in this goddamn movie, basically, before we get the title. Or close to it. And then they escape. They get a distress signal, and they're rescued, seemingly. Nothing gets accomplished! F. One of the worst films of the year. How dare you, Scott Beck and Brian Woods? How dare... This is the best they could do? This is the best? F. Fuck. Agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.